Good morning, everyone. I am Genevieve A. Bravo and my partner, Ryan Nicole Tagalogin, and we're the Group 7. And we're here to present the Republic Act 4670 or the teacher welfare or privileges, the Magna Carta for public school teachers. But before we will dive into each sections of this article, I will give you a quick overview kung ano ang batas na ito, kung ano ang tatalakayin ng batas na ito, kung ano ang kung unsay sud aning batas. So, itong batas na ito ang isang batas sa Pilipinas na nilagdaan noong June 18, 1966 at ito ay nagbibigay ng mga karapatan, proteksyon, benepisyo at marami pang iba para sa mga guro sa pampublikong paaralan. Ito ay nagbibigay ng roles and rights sa ating mga teachers or public school teachers. So section 1, we have the declaration policy. So nakapaloob sa section 1 is to primarily to improve the social and economic status of teachers or teaching profession. And because before people didn't really respect teachers that much and they have a very low perception sa mga teachers and respect sa mga teachers sa una, and even their living and working conditions ay hindi rin maganda. That's why the Magna Carta came into picture na the teaching that's why the Magna Carta came into picture and would want to ensure that teaching be comparable to other professions like lawyers, nurses, doctors, and also to attract and retain qualified teachers or to attract qualified students or very good students. For section 2, which is the title definition, kung ito ay kung sino ang cover sa Magna Carta. So Magna Carta for public school teachers cover all teacher in public, elementary, and secondary schools. And for teachers, all persons engaged in classroom teaching, full or part-time, sila ang cover nitong Magna Carta. Guidance counselors, school librarians, and vocational instructions, and those who are performing supervisory administrative functions like principal, head teachers, supervisors are also covered in this Magna Carta. And also, but those who these nurses, school physicians, and school dentists, and other employees, those who are sila ang mga hindi covered sa Magna Carta or sa batas na ito. So for section 3, which is the recruitment and qualification, and this act tells us that for those who would be teaching in kindergarten and elementary students must have a Bachelor of Elementary Education and Bachelor of Elementary or Bachelor of Early Childhood and Education. And for those who would be teaching in secondary students must have a Bachelor of Secondary Education and with their appropriate field of specialization. And for those who are graduate of other program must have they are allowed to teach in secondary provided they have 18 units of professional education. And also for tertiary or college students, they must have a master's degree. So for section 4, which is the probationary period, meron daw tinatawag na regular appointment and provisional appointment. For those who have given regular appointment, they must be eligible, qualified, and must have training and professional preparation in any schools covered by the government. And for those who have given provisional appointment, they must have minimum educational qualification, no civil service education, but they still be employed in areas, especially in those areas who have dearth of teachers. But they are only given 1 year probation from date of provisional appointment. So for section 5, which is the tenure of office, security of tenure is guaranteed, and for those who are in the provisional status, they will become permanent if they will able to serve 10 years of teaching. So for section 6, we have consent for transfer or transportation expenses. So for section 6, teachers are allowed to be transferred from their localization or kung saan sila nakatira or kung saan mas accessible sa kanila ang school. And no transfer should be done if the teacher doesn't agree with this. And yes, transfer must need with teacher's consent. And they are not allowed to transfer from their locality less than 3 months from the national and local election. And every expenses sa kanilang pag-transfer must be shouldered by the Department of Education. So for section 7, we have the Code of Professional Conduct for Teachers. This section would tell us that all public teachers, you have to abide the code or provisions under the Code of Ethics, and you must have the copy of the code, and you have to really do what is asked of you based on professional conduct. So for section 8, which is the safeguards and disciplinary procedures. So section 8 tells us that every teacher shall enjoy equitable safeguards at each stage of disciplinary procedure. In case that teacher shall undergo in disciplinary procedures, the teacher must have the following rights. First, the right to inform in writing of the charges. Karapatan ng guro na malaman, or you have to tell the teachers that there are a group of students na nagrereklamo sa kanya, and ito yon. These are the charges that are pressed against the teachers. Ito yung mga reklamong pinataw sa kanya against the teachers. And number 2, the right to full access to evidence of the case. Karapatan ng teacher na makita kung bakit nagrereklamo ang mga students. Karapatang makita ng teacher kung ano ang ebidensyang meron sila against the teacher, kung ito ay pawang allegations lamang or gawa-gawa lamang, haka-haka lamang. And number 3, the teacher has the right to defend himself. Karapatan ng guro na protektahan yung sarili niya kung ito ay walang katotohanan at pawang gawa-gawa lamang ng mga estudyante niya. And be defended by a co-worker or co-teacher na nakakita kung ano talaga ang katotohanan, kung ano talaga ang mali at tama sa ginawa ng mga estudyante. And also, be given ample time to prepare for defense. And the right to appeal to clearly designated authorities, and no publicity shall be given during the pendency of the case. So, Section 9, which is the administrative charges. So, if there are administrative charges against the teacher, the Section 9 would tell us what is to be done. So, sabi dito, the charges should be heard and investigated first by a committee formed by the principal. So, this means that if may nagreklamong parents against the teacher kasi ang teacher may punishment or may ginawang corporal punishment sa kanyang student and nakita iyon ng parent ng student. So, ang gagawin ng principal is iimbestigahan niya muna kung tama ba or iimbestigahan niya muna kung totoo ba ang sinabi ng parents against the teacher, and if napatunayan na tama ang sinabi ng parents against the teacher na ito ang ginawa ng teacher sa kanyang student, then it will be heard by a higher authority. Ang principal ay the principal will seek advice to higher authorities. Section 10 will be all about discrimination. Section 10 would tell us that no discrimination should be given to everyone who wants to enter the profession and to everyone who is in the profession. Anyone is allowed to enter the teaching profession, and to those individuals who really are desirous to be teachers and are academically, physically, and emotionally qualified must not be discriminated in any manner. So, Section 11 is for married teachers. So, sabi dito sa Section 11 that for those couples or married couples have the right to be assigned in the same locality, and proper authorities should take all steps for this to materialize. So, for example, if I am already married, me and my husband have the right to be assigned in the same school, the same locality, because that is under Section 11. So that is what the Section 11 would like to tell us. So for Section 12, we have academic freedom. Teachers must have the right to conduct researches that would enhance the teachers' teaching strategies, their practices, and dealings with their students and classroom methods. And if ang study na ginawa ng teachers ay okay at nakapasa, maaari itong gamitin ng schools and other with their localities. But if hindi ito nakapasa, then nasa sa authorities na ito kung ano ang dapat nilang gawin doon. So, Section 13, we have teaching hours. So, it tells here in Section 13 that each teachers should have 6 hours of active teaching daily. Teachers should not be teaching beyond 6 hours, and if mula pa sila og more than 8 hours, then there will be additional 25% of the basic pay. So basically, if for example ang sweldo sa teacher is 24,000, then mo na yung monthly pay. And since ni-exceed man siya og 8 hours, then makadawat pa siya og 25% of the basic pay. Okay, so for Section 14, we have additional compensation. So Section 14 would like to tell us that every teacher that will extend their time to do out-of-school activities or would be given out-of-school activities and extracurricular activities must be given additional compensation, and naapod sila additional 25% of the basic pay, since that is already beyond sa ilang workload or wala sa ilang workload. So that is why they should be given additional compensation. So for Section 15, we have criteria for salaries. So teachers' salary should be comparable and favorable, and reasonable standard of life, and properly graded.
I'm going to continue the talking about the Section 16 salary scale. So teachers have a salary that slowly increases every 3 years. They get regular raises. According to Magna Carta also, that teachers have a salary that increases slowly from minimum to maximum. So, in Section 17, Equality in Salary Scales. The Magna Carta says that teachers should receive fair and equal salary increases. That they pay should follow the same rules and they should not be treated differently. So in Section 18, Cost of Living Allowance. So, Magna Carta says that the teacher should receive extra money when the cost of living becomes high. This allowance helps them pay for basic needs. On Section 19, Special Hardship Allowance. So, the teacher should also be given special hardship allowance because naay uban nga teacher kanang moadto og kanang musaka og mga bukid or mulabang og sapa kay para moadto lang sa ilang mga estudyante nga dili makaadto sa school kay maulagin na kanang maglisod og kuan. So according to Magna Carta, that have additional 25% of their salary monthly ang ilahang naay 25% ang ilahang kanang monthly salary mo increase of 25%. But kay grabe ba ilahang kuan effort, diba? So in Section 20, salaries to be paid in legal tender. So according to Magna Carta, teachers must be paid in legal money like cash or in ATM or in credit card. Section 21, Deduction Prohibited. So, the Magna Carta says no deduction of salary unless they approved by government or kinsay head sa ilahang kuan kanang salary. On Section 22, Medical Examination and Treatment. According to Magna Carta, the medical examination treatment of teachers will be free and reimbursed. On Section 23, Compensation for Injuries. So, the Magna Carta says that teachers who get hurt or sick because of work should be compensated. On Section 24, the study leave. So, the Magna Carta says that if the teacher eligible for 7 years in service can take study leave with 60% of their salary for 1 school year. On Section 25, indefinite leave. So, the Magna Carta says here that if the teachers has a serious illness may have indefinite leave for long treatment. On Section 26, salary increase upon retirement, which is when the teacher retired, they receive a salary increase used for their retirement benefits. On Section 27, freedom to organize. Teachers have the right to join or form organization to establish by the Magna Carta. Section 28, discrimination against teacher prohibited. So, the teacher never be discriminated by the students while their teacher is teaching them. Section 29, National Teacher Organization. The teacher has a right to join organization like this to protect and the right teaching profession. So, these are all the rights for public school of Republic Act 4670. Thank you for listening.